You mean why I wanted to be coach? Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, obviously I want to improve, and I feel like this is a great opportunity to hasten that process. If I get some professional advice on my gameplay.
Sure. How long you been playing?
Oh my god, for quite some time. I mean, like 5 years.
Okay,
Well, on and
okay,
off, of course, but yeah,
okay,
something like that.
okay, okay, okay. Sounds good. Let me get your at least your initial form pulled up here
Right.
because I'd like to have that as like at least backdrop. mm, okay, give me just 1 second. Apologies. I'm trying to find it here. I can't find it for some reason. Odd. Okay. Regardless. Okay. So, what role do you play right now? What role are you going to be looking at today?
I play tank.
Tank.
That's what
Okay.
we're
What
running.
rank are you at right now?
Right now I am Diamond 2, Diamond 1.
Okay. So, why tank? What heroes do you play with tank specifically, and how long have you been playing tank primarily?
Well, I've been playing tank for like throughout Overwatch 2 and at the end of Overwatch 1.
Okay. What were you playing
Um,
initially in Overwatch 1?
well, when I started, I was playing DPS, then I switched to support, and
Okay.
then I switched to tank.
Okay. Okay. Why the role swaps? What happened along the way? Because that was similar to me as well. I flip flopped a lot as well.
That was because I was a part of certain teams,
Yeah.
and they expected different roles from me at different
Ah,
times.
so you actually pivoted more off of like what you were doing with your teams. That's interesting. Now,
Yeah.
what rank were you at the time?
When?
Yeah, when you were swapping around those roles, what ranks were you changing from? Were you like diamond still then, or were you masters then,
No,
or
I
plat, or?
was worse then.
Okay, okay, okay. You were what rank? Sorry.
I was way worse. I was like gold or
Oh,
plat.
so that's odd. I've never had somebody that low prioritize the heroes that they play around what their team needs. It's odd to even be on a team at that rank. So
Oh,
was that just a goal of yours to just be playing in a team environment early and often, or like what
yes.
happened for you to be with that team, and are you still playing with teams now?
I'm still playing in a team now, and I mean, I started playing in a team well, pretty much from the start
Okay,
of my journey.
okay. Why? Is it just because you enjoyed the team play? Is that just a priority for
Yes,
you?
it's far better for me.
Okay, makes sense. When you say better, as in like it's more productive, more structured.
Yes, I think like I'm wasting time less when I play with a team.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. So normally here I'd be able to look at your goals and your form, but I legitimately cannot find your form, and obviously it was outdated as you said as well. So
Yep.
what are your goals, at least short term, long term, for Overwatch and outside of Overwatch?
Um. Well, certainly improvement. I'm aiming for a high masters rank for now.
Okay, why
Also,
specifically that rank?
I think like it's achievable for me at the time
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay.
with my
And
current time. Like,
right, what is your current training time looking like right now?
it's varying. I wasn't playing too much for the past 2 weeks because of some IRL stuff, but now I'm back
Okay.
and I play like from 1 to 3 hours a day.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. That seems yeah, Master seems reasonable with that. And then this is all tank.
Yep.
And
I
then
try to focus on tank.
great. Okay. And then how often do you scrimmage with the team that you're with right now?
I like once a week.
Once a week. Okay. And then so the rest is that ranked or quick play or is it a mixture?
A mixture.
Okay, mixture. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. So first thing I ask on the form is what do you hope to get out of the session? You said you want to improve. What are some things that you'd like to look over or like to do in our session today?
Hmm. Well, we could look at my cooldown management for a start, and I
Okay.
think I need some help with my positioning during fights,
Okay.
especially on slower heroes.
Okay. So you're saying like not at the start of the fight, but as the fight evolves.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Because I can sometimes find myself in weird positions in the
Got it.
middle of a fight.
Okay. What heroes do you play on tank?
Right now, I play. well, I can play everything, but I try to focus on less heroes like Winston, Sigma, Junkerqueen, and Ramatra right now.
Okay. Do you play all of those tanks in your scrimmages as well, or just a couple of them?
Yes, I play all of them and then some more.
Okay, gotcha. Now, when do you like swapping in scrimmages? When do you guys play different heroes in different situations? So, how many tanks do you play? What tanks do you play? When do you swap? All that kind of stuff.
Well, we usually swap as a whole, so like it's rare that I swap alone and we say the same composition, but we swap tank or something.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good. I would really caution you, even in your team environment, to be playing more than 2 or 3 tanks, to be honest with you, especially with the amount of time that you're playing.
Oh.
Professional teams generally don't play more than 2 or 3 tanks, sometimes even fewer. So
I should play less tanks.
You need to talk with your team as well about the number of compositions that you're playing, because if you are playing a lot of tank, rock, paper, scissors, and scrims, you're wasting your time. You could be improving a lot faster. Now, if that's what you guys do for fun, that's fine. But if you want to improve and perform better, then you need to be playing fewer tanks. Because the thing is if you, let's say, roll out on a dive comp on Gibraltar, and they go Diva, all right, you don't go back to spawn and swap. You play Winston into Diva because the map is really good for Winston. And Diva might be a little bit annoying, but you can make it work. So talk to me right now, if you can remember, what compositional swaps do you guys do and when? When does that happen and what do you swap to? Do you remember any?
During scrims, we usually swap rarely because we want to practice certain compositions. So we like stay on certain heroes.
Good. But right now, I think there's too many certain heroes. Because you said, this is how many tanks I play, and then I play even more in scrims. How many tanks do you play in scrims?
Because I have this mentality that I need to play what is needed, so I play too much heroes, but I play like everything besides Roadhog and Reinhardt and Wrecking Ball.
Okay, so it's way too much, right? So when do you swap? Like, give me an example. Like, when would you play Zarya? Or Diva?
Okay, Diva. I would play Diva if, for example, we would want to stay dive, but my Winston would get exploded all the time.
Okay. Give me an example if you can remember when that happened. Try and remember, if you can, any situations or what comps or what maps.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
I don't think I can remember a specific scenario.
Sure. What about Doomfist or Winston? When do you play those characters?
Winston is my primary pick, along with Sigma.
Okay.
So I play him in very many situations.
Okay.
And Doomfist I play to contest.
Okay. Makes sense. What about Malga or Ramatra?
It's a difficult question.
Yes, it is. Let me pause you really quick right there. I want you to think about these things. We don't have to do it all in the session right now. But I can tell you right now, you're playing too many tank heroes in ranked by a little bit, and you're playing too many tank heroes in scrims as well. I want you to go through each situation when you feel the need to swap and ask yourself if you can instead be counterplaying how you're playing or how you're adjusting and cut down on those swaps. Having a dive hero and then a brawl hero and then maybe plus one more hero just in case is probably more than enough. The question is how are you able to adjust or swap or adjust your play styles and being able to do those things? Because I think for you need to really make sure that you're fully able to play those characters, and saying that, I can play all that, you can't. You can't. You think that you can, but you can't. Even pro players get rusty, right? There's a reason why even the best players in the world don't play every single tank. They'll have like some swaps available, but what I would do is I would put some thought into it and think about when and where it's necessary and when and where you counterplay. And if you have any questions, or even better, if you have a scrimmage, so something like this happens, I felt like I had to swap here. What do I do? Should I have stayed? If so, what should I have done? I want you to screenshot the comp that they were playing. Screenshot the map, just screenshot the entire scrim, right? Send me the screenshot, give me your question, and I'll let you know what I think.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, that might help it instead of trying to remember what happened. Like when it happens, think about it, try and solve it, and then send me what happened afterwards, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
especially for 1 to 3 hours, it's not bad. You could definitely get the masters, but you're going to need to make sure that your hero pool is 2 to 3 heroes. And that can change too. Like, for example, if you're really having fun playing Winston right now and then they nerf Winston for whatever reason, season 11, and you don't feel like playing Winston anymore, that's fine. That's fine. Drop Winston, pick up another tank. But just don't be every week you're playing 3, 4, 5 different tanks, right? Okay, let's keep going here. Goals are good. How's your sleep?
Oh, that's very varying for me. Recently, I've been sleeping over 8 hours, but sometimes I sleep like less than 6.
Okay. From what I know, I think there was a recent study that showed up on my Twitter timeline, and it was something about the consistency of your hours is actually may impact your performance more than the quantity of your hours. So going to bed at around the same time and getting up at around the same time may be more helpful for your energy levels. So just keep that in mind. I think getting 7 to 8 hours is the goal, of course, but yes, that's the overall goal. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to impact your performance, your focus, your energy, your emotional regulation, and your ability to learn as well. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? This is the most important question. What do you think?
I think that something that is holding me back would be maybe... I don't feel like I'm learning a lot from the games I played during the games which I play.
Okay, elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, I find myself doing the same mistakes during matches, even though I like see them happening.
Okay.
And then I do it again.
Give me an example of one of those mistakes.
No, for example, going off position on Sigma, like staying very close to Reinhardt for some reason because he like cut the space between us.
Mm-hmm.
And then I make space and then I do it again, like half a minute later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you make a mistake. Do you recognize it in the moment or do you recognize it afterwards watching the VOD?
I recognize it, but then I do it again.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Are you stupid?
I don't feel I'm stupid, but well, I don't know.
Okay. What is stupid? What is stupid? And this is a dumb question, but bear with me. Let me give you the American definition of stupid, okay?
Okay.
American definition of stupid is I explain something to you very well. I'm so eloquent and wise and intelligent, the greatest teacher in the history of the universe, and I explain it to you, and I say, does that make sense? And you say, no, then you're stupid. Or maybe I'm just a bad teacher, okay? If you're
considering you're a good teacher, then I'm stupid.
Yes. Okay, so you're stupid. What is not stupid is me explaining it to you, you saying yes, and you understand it. Good job, nice job. And then you forget to do it. That's not stupid. That's forgetful or distracted or just not very skilled. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of
So you're not stupid. You're just either distracted or you're just not very good. The question is how do you get good? And that comes through practice. See, the problem is like, I see people, this was funny last week. I was playing Overwatch last week, trying out the tank changes. And I'm like low masters on tank, right? I'm not that good. And I had so many people backseat gaming me in my Twitch chat. Yo, you should do this. You should do this. And I finally was like, I know! I coach this game for a living. I know every single mistake that I'm doing. But in the moment, it's not just mechanics. I can't think. I don't have the skill of being able to make those decisions, not even thinking quickly, just not thinking at all and just acting because I don't play the game, right? Because me coaching doesn't mean that I can do it instantly. Now, let's put it this way. If we could pause Overwatch every half a second, I would be the greatest Overwatch player in the world because I would make every decision perfectly. But you can't. It just happens, and you just have to just act, right? So with the Sigma and Reinhardt example, you sometimes there's a lot of things to think about, and you don't have time to like think about that Reinhardt mistake that you already made. You just need to focus on that mistake until you fix that mistake, and then you can do it without even thinking about it. The problem is that if you recognize a mistake and go, oh, I'm dumb because I keep making the same mistake over and over, everybody does that. Everybody does that. That's unavoidable. The question is are you able to practice that error until it no longer happens? Like, for example, like let's say that you woke up every single morning and you forgot to brush your teeth, right? For hours because you got distracted. How would you fix that problem? How would you fix that?
I would probably write myself a note.
Yes.
Remind myself.
Yes. You'd write yourself a note for how long? How long would it take?
I don't know. A few times.
Yeah, at least. It might take a couple weeks, right? You know? Exactly. Until you could do it and you're like, oh, it just happens, right? You're used to it, right? That's how learning is. That's how learning is. Are you stupid? You forget to brush your teeth? No, it's just not part of your habit. It's just not part of your habit. So what we're here for is we're here to find what habits you don't have. That's what teaching is. But learning and developing skill is taking those habits and actually applying them. Not just knowing them, but applying them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're not stupid necessarily. You might be stupid. I don't know. We'll have to find out, I guess, in a second. But you don't have the consistency of applying what you know, and that is not only universal, but that is something that you're constantly going to be improving. You're never going to be perfect at applying what you know. Nobody is. Not even the greatest player in the world. I think there's a really big misconception of like, oh, smart people don't make the same mistake twice. That's a total myth. Total myth. Oh, yeah, absolutely make the same mistake twice. You just have to prioritize what mistakes you fix. So, okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. What else is holding you back from improving? So you have mistakes that you need to clean up. Those mistakes may be to do with tank trades. Is there anything else that comes to mind?
No, I don't think so. I mean, okay. I think I'm pretty consistent with my gameplay.
Okay. Good. Let's look at some gameplay here. Shoot me over code whenever you'd like.
Okay. We can go with maybe we can go with a Winston game first.
Ah, yes, I love Winston.
I've got a game on Dorado.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Take your time.
Wait, how do I get the code?
Here, look at my stream. I'll show you.
Okay, I'm looking.
Click on the game. Share at the bottom right.
Oh, because it has to be replaced.
Yeah, and then copy. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, have it here.
Okay. Got it. So why this code? Winston, Dorado, you said Winston's a priority character for you. But why this particular... By the way, which Winston are you? Red or blue?
Sorry?
Which Winston are you?
Oh, experience.
Experience, gotcha. Okay, so why this code in particular? Why this map?
Well, I've chosen this code because of the character I played mainly.
Gotcha.
And this is a good map for Winston in my opinion. So
one of the best.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good. What is Winston good at? What are your priorities as Winston? Are there any mistakes that you think that you make often with Winston that you need to fix?
Maybe my diving technique.
How so?
Well, I'm very bad at dodging like slips when I'm jumping canas or something.
Okay.
Maybe
so what
I don't remember all the cooldowns to look after.
Gotcha. So you forget cooldowns. Maybe there's something to do with when you place your bubble as well. You mess that up.
Yeah.
So you get cooldown. Okay.
But
So
it's
bubble.
It's not always.
Not always.
When I'm not focused.
Sometimes bubble technique. Okay. Anything else? Diving technique.
And nothing comes to mind.
Okay. Let's take a look then.
There are probably some more mistakes.
Sounds good. What is Winston good at? What's your priority as Winston?
Killing isolated targets.
What does isolated mean?
That they cannot get help before I kill them.
Okay. Do you dive unisolated targets ever?
Yes, when I'm diving in a team.
Okay.
And
What if there's no
when I
isolated
feel,
targets?
well, then you have to create an opportunity
How do
for
you create an
yourself
opportunity?
by pressuring them with your Tesla, maybe.
Sure. So just zapping them, doing your normal stuff.
Yeah, taking positions around them and waiting for a moment,
Okay.
zapping them, maybe bubbling them off to make them isolated.
Okay. So you're saying if they are isolated, dive them. If they're not isolated, dive them. Bubble, shoot, something along those lines. Okay. We'll take a look then.
I'm pretty sure this is not my best game, but yeah, we'll see.
What do you think of this bubble?
I shouldn't have used it. I could have dropped to not take the damage from Echo.
Dropped where?
Behind in my team's direction.
Here's a question. Is this bubble allowing your team to shoot, or is it allowing you to shoot?
It's only allowing me to shoot Echo, but I'm still alone in that fight.
Okay, how so? Where's your team? Is your team getting value out of the pressure that you're doing right now?
No.
Okay. So you're saying instead of bubbling here, drop, then what?
Either I go to the corner and make them like go away from there, or I take a different high ground.
Got it. Okay. Why are you here?
What?
Why are you here? Why did you jump here?
To create myself an opportunity to jump down on the people on the payload.
So you want to get closer to the people that you want to kill.
Yep, so I can dive them without using my next jump.
Makes sense.
Although I don't think that's what I will do. That example.
What's the problem with this position or with this engage? Is there a problem with this engage?
Yep, I don't have cover there and the Kiriko is shooting me for free.
So what should you have done instead?
Maybe I should have chosen a position behind the car on the bottom. I don't know. Or so wait until the payload gets to the corner.
Is your team fighting right now? Or can they shoot
Not
anything
really.
right now?
I mean, they are shooting the people on payload.
I think it's okay, honestly. I think it's okay. Like, they can shoot. I want you to be very careful about second-guessing something because it doesn't work. I want you to think about it if it doesn't work. But if you're doing fundamentally things that you think are correct and it doesn't work, don't overthink it. Ask yourself, was it a mistake? Was it wrong? If not, okay, go next. Because the reason why this doesn't work, there's a couple of details, all right? This is where I'm going to teach just a little bit. Number one, You took too long in this jump. You sat in front of the open and took too much damage. Right here. Just too long. You got headshot. Lost too much HP.
Yeah, all my armor.
Next mistake here. You probably should have gone ahead and dropped on backline here, or at least made sure to check where your Ana was before you looked in. And then finally here, you probably should have jumped out way sooner so that you didn't have to bubble yourself here, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you don't know why this feels so bad? This is why it feels so bad. Okay?
Oh.
It's not your fault. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could have done better, a lot of little things that you could have done better. But the reason that you're second guessing yourself here is something that your Ana just completely craps the bed. She just goofs up. And so she takes... You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what this means is you need to try and have a system, as much as you possibly can, of what am I trying to do as Winston? Dive isolated targets. If there are no dive isolated targets, use my bubble and my zap to try and isolate people as much as I can by getting close, right? So far,
Yep.
you've done an okay job of that. We've seen you take a little bit too much poke, maybe use your bubble a little too early, and that's mostly it. We want to focus on those little mistakes. We don't want to focus on, oh, it didn't work, so it was... No, it was fine. You did the right thing. Just didn't work. That's all. And then you didn't disengage fast enough, right? Like this here, you needed to get out way sooner than that. Because you should have died here. You should have died here, and then also getting your bubble force, like that just hurts my feelings. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the mistake. Let's focus on fixing those problems. Mistake here? What's the mistake? Very simple, right? What should you do right now?
I shouldn't jump at the targets which I don't see.
Exactly. In addition, when should you jump? And how should you jump? You're missing something here, no?
Yeah, I don't have my bubble.
You don't have your bubble, okay? So that's bad enough. You also were not full HP when you jumped in, which is not that big of a deal, but it is a big deal if you're going to be jumping without your bubble. And then, like you said, you also really didn't know what you're jumping either. I actually don't mind this jump, like using the roof here and sliding, but you needed to wait at least a second or two. Because having your bubble now would have been fine. You would have been good.
Yeah.
But you didn't have it. So if this is the stuff that you have to fix, not these goofy little, oh, I didn't... No, you just didn't have bubble. That's it. You just needed to wait a second or two. That's all. So now it's like, this engage was fine, but you forced Suzu. Or not, you didn't force Suzu, that was the enemy Suzu, but you almost died. You almost died, for no reason. That's the problem. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's all. Where's your team?
Very far behind. Again, not making use of my position.
Exactly.
So.
That's the same problem, right? Like it's not that this position is bad. Maybe I start here, but if they jump me, what do I do? Immediately.
Go back.
Go back. Just jump immediately. Immediately disengage. Play for the next choke. Exactly. Don't use your bubble here. Because nobody is capitalizing off of that. Almost nobody. And now we're still behind. You see that? Like we were very fortunate that Kiriko walked into us, but we were not staged nor ready to bubble off when our team was ready. That's it. And why did you make that mistake? Because you didn't know where your backline was. You didn't know that your Sojourner and Lucio were in spawn. That's it. See, do you see how this is the habits that you're missing? The habit of checking your teammate's position is something that you're not very good at least right now. At least not this game. Okay? Yeah. The habit of checking your bubble CD and making sure that you're having the timing of it perfectly before you engage. Just like 3 seconds, 2 seconds, something like that. Or even making sure that you actually have it. You're not very good at that. Okay. Any questions so far?
Not really.
Okay. What's the problem here?
Again, I'm alone.
You see it, right? There's nothing wrong with being here. There's just definitely something wrong about being here with where your backline is. There's nothing wrong with this particular spot. There's something wrong with this particular spot right now. Like even this, right? This is meaningless. Absolutely meaningless. I don't even know why the Winston bubble's there. I have no idea. And then and there you go. So now that your backline's ready, you're on the way out. Would you have Sage or Cassidy? No, he fed. But you need to be killing this backline right now. Instead, you're demanding healing. You don't have your bubble. You don't have your jump. You're not staged. That's a good engage.
Never mind that.
I respect the attempt. Good target focus here. I think your target focus is good. Nice. The mid-air punches are always the best. But you are consistently not stupid, but terrible at checking your team's positions. You know that you shouldn't do what you just did, but you do it anyway, because you don't have the habit of checking your team's positioning. And that's really screwing your team up. Now, you force recall, so maybe this wasn't too bad, but you still got to be careful with this, right? You still got to be careful.
I still use my bubble.
Again, you use your bubble. Now, the reason why this is so bad is a lot of people will be like, oh, but you're using bubble to force other CDs. But as you and I both know, bubble is the CD. It is the CD. It is everything. Yeah. It is the most important CD. It's probably even more valuable than Tracer Recall. Because the thing is without bubble, you literally almost can't do anything. And Tracer without recall can still do something, right? So you, like I said, you did force recall, you forced blinks, you forced deep. So this isn't terrible because it was like a 1v1, but you just got to be so careful. Like, this is a mistake, right? Would this be a mistake if you had bubble? No, but you need bubble here. You need at least 1 second of bubble. You're slept. There it is. And there it is, right? Instead of a kill jump, like a jump that this Ana's going to die and then you primal, you're not even getting the... Like, that's the real reason why this is the problem. It's not that you're going to die here, because you're not going to die, right? But it's the fact that this Ana needed to die there. Like, she had to die. You desperately needed to kill that Ana. Now.
And I could have done that.
And you
I'm
could
use
have.
primal and miss everything. Oh my God.
That's okay.
It was my worst primal today.
That's fine. That's okay. Like, you know, you don't need me to tell you that the primal was bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Check your teammates' positions. And it's the second bubble that's killing you. It's not the first bubble, right? The first bubble is bad because you don't know where your team's position is. The second bubble is bad because you're getting too eager to jump with a couple seconds left before you have bubble, which is then really hurting your ability to kill people and or killing you. So the problem is not your bubble usage. The bubble usage is a problem because you don't check your team's positioning and because you don't check the cooldown. Habits. Or correcting habits. Good. Obviously it's fine. Obviously fine. Okay. Now, be careful here because again, you know what's happening behind you, right?
Yeah, probably not much.
Somebody's in spawn. I mean, if you want to drop your bubble here and then just jump, but honestly, I wouldn't even if your Cassie's gonna die, I get it, it's tricky, but like I wouldn't encourage them unless you're sure that they're just gonna feed, right? Like don't, because this might bait people to think that we're fighting here. It's just ugly. Even with beat, you gotta be careful. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the second bubble. So, by the way, you get beaten here. How should you do this? Because I know it's like, oh, I gotta push, I gotta push. Suzu, what do you do?
Now I would back to the left side.
You gotta run. You gotta run. Exactly, you gotta run. You don't have bubble, you're cooked. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Disengage. Okay, let's, next fight. So, where should you be? And when should you go?
Well, I can take that high ground in a few seconds when the Ana is in view.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Instead I do it instantly. But I force them up anyway, I think.
It's not bad, because think about it this way. Your Ana can't see you, but who can see this Sojourn?
No, the rest of my team, my DPS.
Right, well, and think about their team. Can their Cassidy, Ana, Kiriko see her or you? Not that easily, right? So it's like you're jumping without their Ana, but the Sojourn's jumping without her backline too. Does that make sense? No. Now, if the entire backline had been up here and like one person on cart, then this would have been a feed from you. But you're jumping somebody who's also isolated, so it's not the end of the world. The bubble placement is just a little bad here. Like you need to really lock down your target with your eyes. And the mechanics with Winston are all the little things. It's the short jumps, the long jumps, the primal rage, the alternate fire, the melee animation cancel. It's not really an animation cancel, but the melee combos, placing your bubble precisely, tracking. Like right here, there's no way that you shouldn't bubble this. Like you see that Sojourn, maybe you didn't see the Sojourn, I don't know. But like the second, it has to be now. You got to keep her outside the bubble.
Yeah, because I bubbled on her, so that was useless.
Exactly. So it's a good jump, just not a very good bubble. What should you do now?
I would wait just a little bit and then drop.
What can you do while you're waiting?
On the other side, on the Ana.
What can you do while you're waiting?
Poke them.
Poke them. Poke who?
The supports.
The supports. Why the supports?
Because they will need to use their resources to survive.
Possibly. Yep. And there's one other reason as well. How much HP do you lose if you peek and alternate fire this Ana or this Kiriko?
40 to 70.
Right. How much do you lose peeking a Sojourn or Cassidy?
Can be much more.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to be very careful about how you're using your alternate fire. Very careful. You will lose so much HP. If I pop alt fire here, I'm not going to be too concerned on the Ana. It's gonna hurt her. It's not gonna hurt me too much. It's okay. If this Ana was a Zenyatta though, different story. I would not peek. I might not even peek a BAP here for the same reason. Does that make sense?
It's reasonable.
Yeah, support's definitely more of a priority, but even some other supports I wouldn't peek without bubble at all. They just do too much damage compared to my alt fire. It's just not worth it. And whereas if it was like a tracer, I might actually be more comfortable peeking a tracer. Why?
Because she has far less damage from this.
Right. So it's the damage. It's not the fact that, I'm only peeking supports because supports. That's partly true. But it's just the lower damage here. Like, heck, I might even peek a Reaper at this range, right? Just throw some alt fire. But, like, you got to be really careful about the amount of damage you're losing here. And so I don't like where you're peeking now, even though I know you will dive back here because you're smart. But because I don't think the alt fire here is worth all that much.
Yeah, I didn't. And I didn't do that.
You know what, though? You are going to wait for bubble. So I respect it. I just hate the jump. I just hate the jump. This is why getting the angle here would be so much better. Like, I promise you this backline dies with that angle. I promise you. Remember, 50% of Winston is doing nothing while you're thinking about what you're going to do next. That's 50% of Winston. So right now, it's not I have to do something, it's high. No, you're not expected to do something. You already did something. You took the Sojourn out of the really good position. And that's reduced the amount of damage that your team's going to be taking. So now take the next 2 or 3 seconds to think, okay, how do I use my primal? Who do I go for? Should I be alternate fighting? Right? You need to be using your brain. It's big action, thinking. Big action, thinking. You're a sprinter, is what you are. All right? You're not a marathon runner. That's a Sigma or something like that, right?
Yeah. And this now was useless.
Yeah, right. You see how easily they kite it. They kite it because you don't.
They just run away.
Because you don't have an angle. You don't have an angle. You had an angle to prevent them from kiting, and instead you don't have an angle. This is a good jump. Bad tracking. She should have died. This is risky, but probably okay given the amount of HP that you have.
Oh, and I did it to primal.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying even here, it's like. But yeah, good primal. But you and I both know that a better setup engage means that you don't primal at all. Okay.
Yep.
The target priority has been very good, though, I think, for the most part. It's been one of your strong points. You definitely don't get caught up shooting the wrong targets.
I'm wondering why am I sitting on the same spot, near them.
It's okay because you have a backline angle, right?
Yeah.
But I think that you realize that you wouldn't get really a very good bubble from here because it would be very easy for the Cassidy to walk in and fan and then roll out, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to go for backline right now. I'm going to fight for this high ground. If I win this tank trade here. Now, why is tank trading here acceptable?
Because I'm fighting for a position that is good for diving others.
Yes. And can anybody in the backline shoot you right now?
No.
No. You never go for the tank trade if the backline can shoot you. Almost ever. Almost ever. But exactly, you're fighting for this position, and it's just you versus Winston. It's fine. You're going to force him out. Sometimes even dumb Winstons will bubble that. Right? So you can get double valid. And then now you're in a perfect position to go for backline. Just bad bubble placement. That's all. Just bad bubble placement. You just need
too late, I think.
Yeah, too late. You need to know that's coming, right? That might also be where you can jump higher. Like I could tell you did a dead jump or a straight jump, right? Where I don't think
I
you
could
press
jump over the ledge.
Yeah,
here.
exactly. You didn't press W with this jump, so it just kind of dies. You see that? Instead, do a W jump up over. And then look at this. And this is going to make it a lot easier to be able to bubble drop. And it's also going to make her sleep dart a lot harder, as well as giving you more time to land. So this is a good jump in terms of good engage, bad jump, bad bubble. Let's put it that way. I mean, heck, you could have even jumped up top here, right? And alt fired like for a second and then dropped, you know? See what you can bait. But yeah. Good focus. Really like the Kiriko focus. I'm telling you, your target focus is really good. Really, really good. Okay, let's keep going here. Any questions so far?
No, I think you're answering every one of my questions during the Valor
Good,
review.
good. Again, you're seeing that we're deconstructing your gameplay into good habits and bad habits. Good habits like good target focus, priority on staging with high ground. Bad habits, not always taking the best angle for backline, not always bubbling at the right time, not checking your team's positioning. You know, getting too anxious for that second engage before you have bubble when you needed it, right? It's not always bad either. Like, you think about it this way. If they were on like Kiriko Lucio, a lot of those second engages would have been fine because the Kiriko Lucio aren't going to deny your engage coming from above, right? So you don't need to worry about sleep dart and nade and so on, right? So you could jump without bubble sometimes. Now, as you're going to get better, Lucios are going to get better, and you're going to start hating Lucio poop. Maybe it's better with
I already do.
Yeah. So you're going to have to be smarter with it, even with the nerfs to the boops. But I think just in general, like, you're going to get smarter with these kind of things, but you're going to need to pay really close attention to when and where I need bubble, when and where I don't. Good setup. I think Venture's terrible versus Winston.
Well, that's true unless they cancel an engage with their drill.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Or they can just like totally stop in the air.
Yeah, see, this is where you're playing too cute. If I see this here, give respect to the Junkerqueen. Give respect. Just disengage right now. Drop down, jump over, just give up. You don't win that. That's it. Don't wait for her to knife you and then carnate and no. Don't sit here and play. Jump. You get out. Get out. So like you go from a situation where you should have lost 100 HP to I lost 400, almost 400 HP. Don't do this. Just reset. She cleared you out because what would happen? The difference is now you could have engaged at full HP, right? Yeah. Don't respect poke. And so now this engage is just, it's perfect if you were full HP, right? Because now you would be able to do this, and it maybe wouldn't be as much of a feat because you'd have full HP still. Whereas this feels kind of like a feat. Now, obviously, that Baptiste, did he even use a single cooldown? Okay, yeah, I mean,
he didn't see me, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he saw you, right? So the target priority is good. Even this is good. This is good.
Yeah, but I could have just walked off instead of jumping.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Looks like this is a bit of a stomp, so we'll just kind of zoom through this. And this makes it easy because now we can, like, what we could do is we can look for the habits that we already know are a problem. Like right now, what's the problem with this jump? Very small thing, but something to keep an eye on.
Maybe because they jumped from the position that everyone could see me at?
Partly, but I don't think there was a better option. I mean, maybe you could have wrapped here, but I think it's the similar problem, right? My problem is I actually don't, this is another non-W key jump, I can tell. So what ends up happening is that you land here when you should have landed a little closer, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Right? You don't have to be so scared of BAP. You can get in his face because you don't have to worry about sleep dart and then bubble dance, right? So I think that there would have been a better opportunity to do more damage here. You see, you can't quite reach him, right?
Yeah.
Not a big deal, but it's a small thing. And see, that's where you can work on small things, is if there's small things that happen a lot, like sometimes not quite getting the jump that you want. Good. Again, I would prefer the angle. Just drop here, you know? Pull back a little bit further. Still a good target. At least you do have an angle. It's not perfect. Wait, what just happened there? Oh, was it Venture trying to come for you?
I have no idea.
No, it was Bap. I
Just
was like, Bap looked funny. I think he just bonked him. Good. Obviously a little bit risky, but she was so low that like you might as well. Good jump. That's a good jump right there. Maybe not the best primal, but the jump was good. You landed right on him.
My primals were not it today.
That's okay. That's okay. I want to see another good jump here. That's a good jump. Maybe needed to land on the top, but I get what you're doing. And yeah, that's it. Okay, let's we could take notes on this and move on, or we can look at another code, or it's totally up to you. You got about 10 more minutes.
Okay, let's make quick notes.
Okay, Winston, what are you seeing from this VOD so far? What are some bad habits or habits that need to improve?
Not looking up at my bubble uptime.
Right, second bubble.
Not looking.
Engage.
Oh.
Check your bubble CD. Decide on whether you should wait and when to engage. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Fix that habit. Improve that habit.
Then the next habit would be looking back at my team to see
Right.
if I'm in a
Check
good
your
position.
team's positioning when deciding on first engage position timing. Because there are no such things as objectively good Winston positions. Everything is subjective with where your team is holding, and then choosing the best spot from where your team can see.
Yeah.
What else? Maybe
Using
some
the
little
time.
things here. Yes.
Yeah, when my cooldowns are down, to think more about my next move.
Great. What else?
Setting up better angles.
Okay. When using high ground, try to drop from an angle instead of in front. And then what about micro? Little details.
Make less predictable jumps. I mean, you said that I do slow jumps.
Yes, aim to land on targets that don't have threatening CC burst. Just a couple of little things like that,
Yes.
and then I think
Then was don't poke targets that can deal way more damage to you.
Yes. Okay. Now what?
Well, we have like 10 more minutes, so
Yes,
we
got plenty of
could
time.
maybe look at. I think I've got a SIG replay.
Let's do it. Let's look at some SIG.
Oh, SIG and Junkerqueen.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I like your taste in tanks. I used to really like Sig. I still like him. I don't like him as much in Overwatch 2, but he's still a lot of fun, and I think Junkerqueen is like obviously great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I could like put Ramatra away and leave my free tanks to be like Winston, Sigma, and Junkerqueen.
Yeah, it'd be like your brawl tank, your anti-cancer tank, and then your dive tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems good. Do you want to start from here? This work for you?
Yes, because I'm playing Sigma only for the first point.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is the same problem you made on Winston, shockingly. You see it? I love it. Rock. Yeah, all right, poggers. What are you doing?
Now, I don't know why am I walking forward.
What are you doing? Look at your team. Like, we are clearly not holding this. Like, the thing is like, okay, no poke is free. No poke is free. Every poke has a risk or a cost. Sometimes it's okay. Throwing a rock here is not going to cost you really all that much. It's okay. Like, maybe you get slept, but probably not. You'll be fine, right? This is definitely not free because there's 5 people. You've got 2 people in spawn plus 2 people behind you that are not even fighting at the choke. So that's 1 cooldown, 500 HP, and your entire shield. And you may not recover from this. In fact,
Yeah,
you're
that
not
was really
recovering
bad.
from this. They're already taking space. It's not that this is bad. Sometimes I do this. If I see my team pushing up here, I'm like, all right, well then fine, we're fighting here, right?
Yeah,
but there's
this
not
is bad because my team didn't push here because they were
exactly. So this is basically this has gotten out of control. Like this entire point is just a mess.
Yeah, they just jumped all over us.
Right, and you've given up all the space because you had no HP and you had no cooldowns, and so I would be careful about over chasing this. I think here you look at this, you've cleared Sojourn, everyone's a little too far. You shoot. I think this is what yeah, this is where we let him go. Like this, he's gone. Okay, then go back and rehold the corner and hold the back line, right? Because even if you hit the rock there, I don't think he dies. And instead now, like you've let the backline rotate for free. So your target priority is fine now. It's like watching my. That's okay. It's okay. That's okay. It's the same thing when I watch my own gameplay. I'm like, I suck at this game. You know, ironically, here this is where you could actually walk forward and hold the corner again, because you do have two people. Like, okay, maybe it's just you and Genji, but at least you could put a little poke here. You know, they've got 2 or 3 people in spawn as well.
I have free space.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. There you go. Now I'd be careful about over pushing here, because you do have supports in spawn. And I would avoid even like losing HP as well, because you have your supports in spawn.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm starting my engage with. I'm starting the fight with half my cooldowns.
Pretty much. Stop giving the ball attention. Good. Because this is where, like, because you're thinking, oh, well, I just might as well use the accretion. No. What could you do with this accretion? Besides just throw it at the area, what could you do? But what's your effective ranges, Sigma?
40 meters?
Not 40. Definitely not 40. But, like...
How much is it?
It's like 15
30?
to 20. Yeah. It's like, it's close, right? It's close. Go in the practice range. But that was a bait question, though, because I hate people. I just want to make people miserable. Because it's 15 to 20 versus tanks, usually, and certain DPS. But let me put it this way. If you walk up here with accretion and shield, your effective range is this, okay? Because she's dead, okay? You get what I'm saying? She's dead. So if you see opportunities to isolate and push squishies, like a dive tank, do it. Every tank can do that, not just Winston and Reinhardt and stuff. You don't have to always play to poke. Like, you could get down and dirty with it, you know? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fix your fluxes. What's the problem with this flux?
Yeah, it's 20 meters, I just checked.
Okay, 20, there you go. What's the problem with this flux?
I was trying to get everyone, so I got no one.
That's it.
And then my mouse flicked also, and
yeah. I saw that, yeah. You got a hair in your mouse or something. Oh dear. Nice! Could be worse. I actually don't like breaking mines with shield. Unless the fight is like, you're totally safe, because what do you want to do with your shield now?
Well, I can use it to block incoming damage, and
yeah. You could hold the corner here and like push out the area or control. You can't do that anymore. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what's more lethal? These mines here, or this guy here and this guy here? And that, like, you have to make that decision, right? You have to make that decision pretty quick. I think in this situation, it would be better to put your shield out and be able to use, because like, you see how passive you are now, like how much space that you're giving to that backline, and you, congratulations, nice rock. The mines haven't killed anybody, but the Cassidy did. Right? Yeah. So the mines did its job. The mines forced space. The mines forced your entire shield. But yeah, I think that like if we were to put notes on your Sigma as well, okay, let's take some notes. So we've only watched a few fights, but I think that we definitely got at least a good initial impression. What do you see? What do you see? What needs to be improved? What are some habits?
There was the same habit that on Winston, so yes. I don't have to write that.
Same habit as Winston. Well, I will put it because when you're practicing your Sigma and you go look at your notes, you need to see check, backlines, position when choosing your spot. Okay? All right, what else?
Well, not wasting my resources before a fight.
Well, but see, that problem will be fixed if you do the first point.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't need to worry about that. What else?
No, not just throwing my accretion randomly.
Throw accretion. Look for opportunities to get value with it.
Yeah,
like plays, pushes, or anticipate dives. Like you could save your accretion if you think something's coming, right? It would be fine if you saved your accretion for Wrecking Ball there, but then as soon as you see Wrecking Ball, for example, take it under angle and you can't do anything with him, find an opportunity to set up your accretion. Look for an EDRA, push out a Sojourn. Be cautious, be more selfish with your resources when it comes to holding space, pressuring squishies. Remember, the best thing that you could do for your team is to do damage and hurt people. So you want to be constantly on the lookout here. Let's do the Junkerqueen. Do you want to look at like 1 or 2 fights with Junkerqueen?
Yeah, we can skip to later.
Later? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like the Junkerqueen pick at all versus their comp. I think it's probably one of the worst tanks you could have chosen, and I know why you picked it. It's, I'm going to knife the ball.
Oh, no, it wasn't that actually.
Oh, really? Okay. Why
I just didn't want to play Sigma, and I didn't want to play any other tanks other
Winston,
than the 3.
100% here. Winston, very good versus this comp.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. A lot of high ground, lots of squishies to control. Nothing the enemy team directly counters you. I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of burst damage, but that's fine. Like, that's just always going to be the case. Did you want to look at the attack? Or?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that would be best. Let's take a look here. Because at least the attack is a better map spot for Junkerqueen, you know?
Yeah.
Tough comp to play Junkerqueen into, for sure. On a cast is tough. Good try. You're down one, so just chill. One little detail with knife. Let me double check here. I actually don't know the answer to this question, which just goes to show that I'm totally incompetent at my job. 3, 2, 1. Wait a second. I am not totally incompetent at my job. Okay, check this out. Check out the knife cooldown, all right? So I'm going to stick it. I'm going to leave it, all right? 1, 2, 3. Look at the cooldown. You see that? 3 seconds.
Yep.
Look at me pull it immediately. See the cooldown?
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same. So you pulling it faster does not set the cooldown back faster. The reason why that's important is mind games. Obviously, on that first dive that you had on, what was it, the Sojourn, you could pull it fast. Try and cancel her slide. I get it. No problem, right? Yep. However, if you throw it on somebody that you know that you're not going to kill, play with their brain. Make them miserable. Like this Cassie right here. Oh, that's perfect. Look at this. Look at that. I guessed right where it was. Don't pull it. Why?
Because then he has to hide because he knows.
Right. It makes them uncomfortable. So basically, here's the thing is, if you are a Junkerqueen, if you hit somebody that can get away or you're close to somebody, pull it immediately. Pull them in, yank them in, get the kill. Great. Just like you tried to do in the Sojourn a second ago. However, if it's somebody that you know that you're not going to pull, remember, there's no point in pulling it faster. Just let it sit in him. Let it sit. Let him think about it. Let him be spooked. Like you said, make him play in a worse position. Because let's say that he tries to take this flank now and you leave it in him, he's going to get pulled in and killed. So when he gets knifed, he has to sit here for 3 seconds and can't peek. Okay?
Yeah.
Abuse that. Abuse that because it does not affect your cooldown whatsoever. Just a tiny little detail. Make sense?
Yes.
So basically, it forces downtime from for anybody that you stick, and that works on tanks too. I love this rotation for you, getting up close and personal. I would prioritize the knife pull here first instead of the shout.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the shout at all. Because
agreed.
She's alone.
Agreed. Easy to clear. You don't need a shout. Because now you need the shot because you need to rotate, right? You need to close the distance, like maybe from here to like here, right? And now you can't make that rotation anymore. Overall, though, I have liked your rotations. I like this little rotation from here was pretty cute, and then peeking through here, and then rotating to here. And I could tell you're thinking about like how do I approach the next. It's good. There you go. A little risky in front of the Ana, frankly, but yeah, good. A little rushed on that. Nice. Very well done. Very well done. Yeah, very, very, very nice. Like strategically, pretty good there. Let's put it with JQ. We'll say the detail with the delayed knife pull, if no immediate follow up. Keep an eye on shouts when a knife plus pull would do. Any questions?
Not really. Not for now.
Okay. If any questions come up, message me anytime.